Okay, Soul Cairn. Nasty little place.
I'd heard stories about the Soul Cairn, but never thought I'd see it myself. So far, it's not what I imagined.
This is really hard place to keep in check. Yeah. There's no real way to tell where we've been. Ah, crap. Well. We haven't been here. I'm guessing if we visit most of the, or all of the structures, we'll get all the important stuff. Oh shit. Grand stuff, charming. Nothing particularly interesting. Don't like playing on third person view in the first place, so it's another negative on playing with this. Just don't like it. It's not. I just don't like mixing it. The game is focused on one or the other. It's very different, I guess, relationship to the character depending on the view. Third person is third person is more fitting, I guess, if you everything that, or most of the things that happen in the game, your character's abilities are responsible for those. It's very player skill based. I definitely prefer first person. It's much better for immersion, much better for aiming and being aware of the situation. Third person can be used for cheating. I mean, seeing where you shouldn't be able to see. But other than that, no. Yeah, definitely not impressed with Van Person. It has some benefits, but the benefits are just as useful for being in this shape. I don't see the point of using the dragon,
Look at the
not
sky.
dragon, vampire lord
What place
shape.
is this?
I don't approve of that. It's like, if you want to suck, then you can use it. You have to want to be effective, good, competent, then just ignore it. It'll do much better. That's not exactly high praise for the view again. I praise for being a vampire lord is that if it's basically just a downgrade in your capabilities. And you look like a idiot with your split lips. What a good loot. H2. Seems like we're the power wall.
Look at this place.
Here.
I can't imagine choosing to come here. My mother must have been terrified.
Interesting. I wonder if there's those dragons here. Dead-ends. Okay, I guess the note was the thing about this place. How many of them do we have now? 1, 2, 3, 6, 8, 10. That's the place where we must never go. Guessing when we go there... Well...
Mother? Mother!
Shit.
It can't be. Serana?
Is it really you? I can't believe it. How do we get inside? We have to talk.
Serana, what are you doing here? Where's your father?
He doesn't know we're here. I don't have time to explain.
I must have failed. Harkon's found a way to decipher the prophecy, hasn't he?
No, you've got it all wrong. We're here to stop him. To make everything right.
Wait a moment. You've brought a stranger here? Have you lost your mind?
No, you don't...
You, come forward. I would speak with you. So how has it come to pass that a vampire hunter is in the company of my daughter? It pains me to think you'd travel with Serana under the guise of her protector in an effort to hunt me down.
This isn't a ruse.
Coming from one who murders vampires as a trade, I find it hard to believe your intentions are noble. Serana has sacrificed everything to prevent Harkon from completing the prophecy. I would have expected her to explain that to you.
That's why I'm here for the Elder Scroll.
You think I'd have the audacity to place my own daughter in that tomb for the protection of her Elder Scroll alone? The scrolls are merely a means to an end. The key to the tyranny of the sun is Serana herself.
What do you mean?
When I fled Castle Volkahar, I fled with 2 Elder Scrolls. The scroll I presume you found with Serana speaks of Auriel and his arcane weapon, Auriel's bow. The second scroll declares that the blood of Cold Harbor's daughter will blind the eye of the dragon.
How does Serana fit in?
Like myself, Serana was a human once. We were devout followers of Lord Molig Bal. Tradition dictates the females be offered to Molig Bal on his summoning day. Few survive the ordeal. Those that do emerge as a pure-blooded vampire. We call such confluences the Daughters of Cold Harbor.
Cold Harbor?
It's what some call the domain of Molig Bal. His place in oblivion.
And the tyranny of the sun requires Serana's blood.
Now you're beginning to see why I wanted to protect Serana, and why I've kept the other Elder Scroll as far from her as possible.
Are you saying Harkon means to kill her?
If Harkon obtained Auriel's bow, and Serana's blood was used to taint the weapon, the tyranny of the sun would be complete. In his eyes, she'd be dying for the good of all vampires.
I would never allow that to happen. Probably not.
And how exactly do you plan on stopping him?
No. I'll need your help.
Have you been listening to me? Like Serana, I'm a pure-blooded vampire. My presence on Tamriel is as much of a danger as hers.
And Serana's opinion in this?
You care nothing for Serana, or our plight. Whether or not you've become one of us in order to survive the Soul Cairn, you're still a vampire hunter at heart. You're here because we're abominations in your mind. Evil creatures that need to be destroyed.
Serana believes in me, why won't you?
Serana? This stranger aligns herself with those that would hunt you down and slay you like an animal. Yet I should entrust you to her.
This stranger has done more for me in the brief time I've known her than you've done in centuries.
How dare you! I gave up everything I cared about to protect you from that fanatic you call a father!
Yes, he's a fanatic. He's changed. But he's still my father. Why can't you understand how that makes me feel?
Oh, Serana, if you'd only open your eyes the moment your father discovers your role in the prophecy, that he needs your blood, you'll be in terrible danger.
So to protect me, you decided to shut me away from everything I cared about. You never asked me if hiding me in that tomb was the best course of action. You just expected me to follow you blindly. Both of you were obsessed with your own paths. Your motivations might have been different, but in the end, I'm still just a pawn to you two. I want us to be a family again. But I don't know if we can ever have that. Maybe we don't deserve that kind of happiness. Maybe it isn't for us. But we have to stop him, before he goes too far. And to do that, we need the Elder Scroll.
I'm sorry, Serana. I didn't know. I didn't see. I've allowed my hatred of your father to estrange us for too long. Forgive me. If you want the Elder Scroll, it's yours. Your intentions are still somewhat unclear to me, but for Serana's sake, I'll assist you in any way that I can.
Do you have the Elder Scroll with you?
Yes. I've kept it safely secured here ever since I was imprisoned. Fortunately, you're in a position to breach the barrier that surrounds these ruins.
What do we need to do?
You need to locate the tallest of the rocky spires that surround these ruins. At their bases, the barrier's energy is being drawn from unfortunate souls that have been exiled here. Destroy the keepers that are tending them, and it should bring the barrier down. One more word of warning. There's a dragon that calls itself Durnevere roaming the cairn. Be wary of him. The Ideal Masters have charged him with overseeing the keepers, and will undoubtedly intervene if you're perceived as a threat.
Why haven't you pursued the prophecy?
Harkon's vision is a world plunged in eternal darkness, where the vampire can flourish, and never again fear the tyranny of the sun. What he fails to realize is how much attention would be called to our kind if the prophecy came to fruition.
What sort of attention?
If eternal night fell, there are many who wouldn't stand for it. They would raise armies in attempts to return things to normal. The order of the day would be our destruction, until every last vampire was hunted down and eliminated.
So you prefer living in the shadows?
I do. It's how the vampire has survived for millennia, and the only way we can continue to survive in the future.
If I leave the Soul Cairn, can I safely return?
As you've been traveling in the Soul Cairn, your body has become attuned to it. Let's just say a tiny part of you rubbed off on it, and in its place, a bit of the Soul Cairn filled the void. You should find no difficulty using the portal any longer.
Yeah, how did you become imprisoned here?
When I entered the Soul Cairn, I had intended to strike a bargain with the Ideal Masters, the custodians of this place.
What was the bargain?
I requested refuge in the Soul Cairn, and in exchange, I would provide the Ideal Masters the souls that they craved. If I had foreseen the value they placed on my own soul, I would never have come here.
They tricked you.
The Ideal Masters unleashed their keepers, and sent them to destroy me. Fortunately, I was able to hold them at bay and retreat into these ruins.
And so you became trapped.
Unfortunately, yes. Since the Keepers weren't able to claim my soul, they had their minions construct a barrier that I'd never be able to breach.
You've become imprisoned here for all this time.
Time has very little meaning to me. Consequently, it has little meaning to the Ideal Masters as well. I suppose you could call this the ultimate waiting game, each watching the other to see which will give in.
Tell me about the Ideal Masters.
I know very little about them. They're mystic entities that lord over the Soul Cairn, controlling every aspect from its fabric to its appearance.
What do they resemble?
Well, some necromancers believe they are the crystalline structures dotting the Soul Cairn. I believe there's more to it than that.
How so?
I think they transcend what we perceive as a physical form. Perhaps they were once corporeal beings, but they've obviously reached a point where they no longer require a tangible presence.
And the crystals?
Conduits, through which the Ideal Masters speak to their underlings and feed on their victims.
Why would they require sustenance?
The Ideal Masters' weakness is their insatiable hunger for pure souls. It's the reason for the Soul Cairn's existence, and the only leverage a necromancer has when bargaining with them.
Do the Masters provide in return?
The ability to summon powerful undead guardians, as one would conjure an Atronak or Daedra. However, the majority of necromancers that are foolish enough to enter into a bargain with the Ideal Masters wind up here as harvested souls. Be careful, and keep my daughter safe.
Let's kill those keeper things and get back to the prison.
How are you feeling after talking to your mother?
Relieved, I think. All those things had been building for a while. You have no idea how long I wanted to say that to her.
But did you ever agree to her plan?
Look, I loved my father, but when he found that prophecy, that became his life. Everything else, even me and my mother, we just became clutter. I was close with my mother, but she just kept feeding me her opinions of him, and eventually I started believing them.
He doesn't seem too fond of him.
The moment we gave ourselves to Moloch Ball, things got really icy between them. They were both drunk with power, and pulling in different directions. And then he found that prophecy, and that was it.
And you were caught in the middle.
I was. Honestly, it took me up until now to figure out that my mother was really just as bad as he was. He was obsessed with power. She was obsessed with seeing him fail. It was just so toxic. Maybe I could have seen this coming. We could all be better off now.
Looks like they were both being selfish.
Definitely. You must think my life has been so strange. It sounds like your family wasn't nearly as fractured as mine. Anyway, we should keep moving.
Should. Ideal masters. Kill the boneyard keepers. One already dead. Guess we have the right side of this central road pretty well covered. There, that was where one of the keepers was. We visited most of these places. Yeah, definitely. So I want to know where this goes. So I have some kind of image in my mind where we have been and where we haven't.
I thought death was a release, not an eternity of torment.
Not sure we've been here. We haven't. Good. Have to go retrading with the trader. One who wanted soul husks. What's the point of this place? So how do we open you up? Where's the other? Yes, other button nearby.
Are you alive? I must be imagining this.
How are we going to open that? Yeah, there hasn't been anything really complicated here so far, so I'm assuming I'm just missing something obvious. We have to figure this. So yeah, nothing interesting. I'm pretty sure we've been here, but I'm pretty sure we have been in this side too, so might as well take a look. So that's definitely where we've been. Where does this go? The entrance of this place? Right. Wrong. Yeah, I'm not sure where we are. Have I been here? Yeah, this was where the keeper was. Okay. This is northwest. We've definitely been there. East is where the entrance is. We hit it west from there. Right, like. Okay, at least now I have some kind of a grasp of what we've been doing. That's the entrance, more or less. Or is it that? Ah, shit. Well, something was the entrance. Yeah, there it is. Okay. So the western, northwestern part, well, I guess that's south, right? Western part, more or less, has been covered fairly well. Might not have visited all the places, but quite a few. Wonder what type of equipment this guy
Got
has.
some soul. Sure, got plenty. What am I gonna do with it?
Do I really want armor pieces? No, not really weapons either. I guess I can ask for more spell tomes.
Sure, here you go.
Courage.
Can't understand a word of it.
We are doing very well on that front though. I mean, we're not really missing any good spells.
Maybe it will
Maybe
do
we should ask something else.
some good.
I'll ask for spell tomes.
Sure,
We might get
got
lucky.
plenty. What am I gonna do with it? Sure, here you
That's
go.
fine.
Can't understand a
Let's
word
kill
of it.
those
Maybe
keeper
it will do
things and
you
get
some
back to the
good.
prison.
Worthless. Visit it there. Eyes open. Want to make a little bit of a faster progress. Most of this is just nothing. Okay, that's one of the keepers. Anything else? There's 3 buildings here.
I no longer hunger, grow weary, or feel anything but loneliness.
They warned me not to go through that portal. What did I have to be scared of? I've been adventuring for years, and I never seen nothing that I couldn't wallop. But this place, ain't nothing living here, just dead things up and about when they should be in the ground. I can hear their bones scratching at the rocks and knocking together when they walk. If I get home, I'll hang up my sword and never go out again. Okay. Reverend Grey Steel Great Sword.
The sooner we get out of this place, the better.
Yeah. Tend to agree. It's not a good place to be. Reaper's Lair. Okay. Reaper Shard Receptacle. Basically a pile of bodies and a teleportation pad. Don't have access to the pad. Green shit.
Let's kill those keeper things and get back to the prison.
Okay, it looks like this is probably going to get removed somehow. Something's filtering through. Black
I'm
to
glad you're
required
here.
item, so one
Think I could
shard
do
in.
this.
Maybe all the guardians are a shard, or near them is a shard. Combine them all to get something interesting going. Conjure of Wrath.
Where'd you come from?
And now what?
Where'd you come from?
Where the hell's this body go? Daxeldem Dragon Bone Battle Axe. We're doing the zap 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 fighting instead of doing this simply because it occurred to me that maybe experience could be calculated somehow with per shot, and the combined shot is quite a bit more damaging. So there's really doesn't really make much of a difference as far as it comes to killing. We lose the staggered effect, but that's about it. The thing is, the staggered effect is more useful when your attacks just aren't good enough at killing things. But these guys will not survive it, so it doesn't really make much of a difference. We can use whatever tactic we can to do the zabbity zap. Won't make a lick of difference. I don't really know where I am again. I haven't been here.
Who's there? You're gonna have to kill me. Oh, yes!
Looks like a decent enough of sight. Even though there is no guard or keeper here, there must be something else to use. It's basically a Reaper shard for one of the journal pieces. I suppose we're missing one summoning spell too. But those sites are basically small shrines. This does not look like a small shrine. Patronach Forge recipe. Well, something. That is an actual text. I don't know the alphabet, but I can. This is something I can translate, so we can get the recipes out of this. Soul... Is it Soul Gem? Hmm. This definitely... we can get a recipe or... well, we can decipher the message. No way for me to do it inside the game though. I have to find the alphabet somewhere. Gem fragment. Well, wasn't wrong about that. Second fragment. Also, nothing to do with the keepers. All the stone fragments have been places now that we don't need to go to. We've been there. Suppose we should head north at there. Right. What is this? Ghost Farmer.
That's the last time I argue with the Dromora.
Yep. We're going in this direction anyway. Fair point to the horse. It sort of looks at times that he has a goal, but then it just disappears in the nothingness.
Where'd you come from?
Why was it here? Usually they're always protecting something worthwhile.
My ship? What happened to my ship? Where am I?
Don't know.
A soul gem. That's what it was. Then I must be.
Madness. It was madness to attack that coven of witches. Why didn't they listen to me?
Silver
Where'd you
ore.
come from? That'll teach you.
Pack soldier.
Let's kill those keeper
13
fools and
gold.
get back to
Well,
the prison.
that was pathetic. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 9 at least missing. Ah. And you don't need much of a sight to have that kind of a piece of paper. Those blasted things can be anywhere.
Where'd you come from?
Can't attack. One hit and I'm okay. Yikes. We're struggling to get the attacks going.
Where'd you come from?
They're not that dangerous. Ooh. Super soul fragment. Soul gem fragment. What is that? That's at least 3 now. I want to give it a try. That said, I don't actually recall where it is.
Who's there? That'll teach you. Where'd you come from? The sooner we get out of this place, the better.
Greater Sword. Greater Soul Gem. Well, we can probably raise enchantment 100 once we get the hell out of here. Teleportation. So we're going there to kill the Keeper. That's very dangerous. Not necessarily the Keeper itself, but a small mistake out there and we're gonna die. Just from the fall damage. Well, at least we got the Keepers taken care of. Currently here somewhere.
Where'd you come from?
Dragonbone arrows, dragonbone bow. Right, this wastes a ton. I have to get rid of something. So, smallest possible thing we had to do has been done. What else? We definitely haven't done everything. We're missing at least one summoning book. That's probably it. And have all the parts of the Grand Oaks. Those are easy to miss though. I'm not sure what would be the main point in gathering them. That's what I would like
Who's
to
there?
be explained. And why should I waste my time here trying to find them?
I knew I heard something.
Hallowed Orcish Traveler.
Where'd you come from?
Hopefully it wasn't too tough of a burden. Okay, this should be very likely at least a creature summoning. I'm missing one. Yeah. Still missing at least one page. Mistman.
Who's there? I knew I heard.
Well, so at minimum we're missing one page. Not so bad. But we're also missing other things. Because we should take care of the Reaper. There doesn't seem to be any direct connection with it and the mission we're here for, so just something extra. And well, it could be incredibly dangerous. One thing about the larger creatures is that they cannot be staggered. Not really. Oops, what the hell is this? Retrieve Arvok's skull. The horse skull. Return Arbok's skull, okay. I know how to do all these things.
Arvak! You saved him! His soul is free, I can feel it! He's such a loyal beast. Here, I'll teach you how to call him to you. He'll help you get around this wretched place. But I'm sure he'd be much happier someplace sunnier. Goodbye, hero. Take good care of Arvak for me. Such a good horse.
I got some kind of a nightmarish horse out of this. Okay. Maybe it's not quite as sucky as the normal horses. Who knows? Carrying too much, unable to run. Yeah, that's no good. I guess we'll have to rely on this run a little bit.
Sorry, I'm not that easy to get rid of. If you want to run ahead, I won't stop you. But I'll be following. Anything good?
Anything heavy? Don't have anything real heavy. What exactly is causing all this weight problem? Probably weaponry. Yeah, the Dragonbone weaponry. Yes, I'll add a few less important items for her. So even if we lose them, it's not really all that big a deal. Now, where the hell was the Reaper thing? I've also lost a little bit of count on where we were supposed to go. North and west has been covered quite thoroughly, but it's we've moved about quite a bit, so it's not quite a useful thing to do anymore. Should have paid more attention to landmarks, the large towers. Yeah, I'm pretty thoroughly lost. Was a fairly noticeable building, maybe something like that. It wasn't a large tower, but more about just a building. Didn't have a soldier on top of it though. So you were using the Dragonbone maze. We should hug the wall. It's going to end soon anyway, probably before we go and talk to Serana's mother again. Well, I'd like to finish the Reaper first. sure we visited this side yet. Right. Looks familiar. I really don't recollect where the plastic building is. Was a building though. Shit. Should have paid more attention. Well, so we can go building to building. There aren't that many structures here after all. Found it the first time. I'm gonna find it again. We visit this place. That's the big problem. Vampiric powers grow as you grow hungry. Yeah, that's one of the things I never really understood. The more hungry you get, the more powerful a vampire you get. Guess it's sort of a... You're basically fighting between... The more blood you have, the more human you are. The more human you are, the less powerful you are. It's not a difficult concept to understand, but it's game may play mechanically, it's sort of a odd thing. In order to gain power, you need to do nothing. If you do your vampire thing, you'll just become weaker and weaker and weaker. Have I been here? Probably. Anyway, it doesn't look like the place with the Reapers anyway. Can't zoom in and out all that much. If we get close to the correct place, we should be able to... Yeah, I've been here. We should be able to determine immediately if it's the correct place or not. We've been here definitely, but reinforcements haven't been here before. I'm guessing they only appeared here when this became a mission. Ah. Yeah, we've definitely been here. Okay, this could be it. It's that structure. Or not. And we're back here again. Was it even in the secondary part or not? I just don't recall at all. Shit. No recollection at all. This probably means we need to stop here. Because otherwise we're basically just running around cluelessly everywhere. Still, there weren't that many places for us to go. Apparently not. This is our little shopkeeper, right?
Brought some soul. Sure, got plenty. What am I gonna do with it? Sure, here you go.
Names.
Can't
What a worthless.
word of it. Maybe it will do you some
Give me
good.
another.
Well, I've been so busy, I don't know. What are you? Sure, here you
There
go.
points, yep, absolutely.
Can't understand a
perfect.
word of it. Maybe it will do you some good.
Yeah, this. We might be able to find it very quickly. Same time, we might be here for the next 30 minutes trying to find something, and that's not really something I want to do now. I've been here before. No. Sort of surprised. Yeah, because we tried to move around the edges. We haven't really been at the center all that much.
Who's there? Done
I wonder if the dealing with these fighting attractors has any kind of influence on anything here. Who knows? Who the fuck knows? Yep. Okay. Pulling the block. It was here. Somewhere here. Okay. And it was a building like this. I can easily check. I have a recording of it. So I can check it. But it is really, really, really easy here to get confused where you have been and where you haven't been. So, God damn it. Next time we'll get to the Reaper. Hopefully wrap that up fairly quickly and report our success in getting rid of the keepers.